We are talking about selling with an online shop today. I'll be addressing the different types of shops that you can sell from, some of my personal experience, and a few things to keep in mind when selling physical merchandise. To begin with, I want to talk about the different online shops you can use. So number one, I personally use Squarespace, not sponsored, and just because I enjoyed that I could make a portfolio with it on top of having a shop. Number two is Shopify. If I recall correctly, Shopify did not have the ability to make a portfolio when I was looking at where to sell. It was just a shop site, but now they do. Here are the current price plans as of recording, December 2023. These sites do cost money to use, so if you're just starting out, I would say go for something either like Etsy or Ko-fi. Speaking of, number three is Ko-fi. And it's nice because you don't have to pay a fee unless something actually sells. They take a percentage off of your total. On top of that, you have to pay transaction fees. They offer something called Ko-fi Gold. From my understanding is that you pay a fixed fee each month, and as a result, any sales you make from them, they will waive the percentage off. You still have to pay transaction fees. As long as you're selling merchandise, I do not think there is a free way to get money digitally online. So Ko-fi, despite being a site several people use, it does not have a marketplace, neither does Squarespace or Shopify. A marketplace is an extension or evolution of an e-commerce platform which allows third parties to sell through it, which means that besides the actual owner, other sellers can also display and sell their goods. The most popular marketplace that I know of is Etsy. And Etsy is a very mixed bag of helpful and unhelpful, so I think this is going to be the longest segment of this video. The good. They collect and pay your sales tax. This is sales tax, not income tax, by the way. Be sure to pay your income tax when you're required to. And by the way, I sell in the United States, so this might be different from wherever you're located. Be sure to read up on your local tax laws. Another pro that it has is that it's really easy to set up. Etsy charges you 20 cents for each listing. These listings do expire after a certain amount of time, so that is just something to keep in mind. If things don't sell and you just constantly have them there, they do keep collecting money from having them. I personally turn off the automatic renew thing because I do not want to be surprised with extra fees or if I find out a certain type of merch doesn't sell very well. Number two, you can buy and use shipping labels from their website. It also has a built-in audience. They're a very popular place to shop online, especially in the United States. People outside your audience and niche can find your work more easily. So many times I've had people go, "Oh, you're an artist? Do you have an Etsy shop?" It's never, "Do you have an online shop?" So it's very popular. Some cons about Etsy. Their fees can be very high. If you look up Etsy fee calculator, you can input your prices and expenses to get an estimate of your profit. I recommend using more than one Etsy fee calculator because some calculators could have outdated fee percentages. Alternatively, if you are math savvy, you can and should calculate the fees before publishing your listings. That way you can be sure that you make a profit and not accidentally undersell your work. Etsy is more competitive. In 2021, they introduced their Star Seller program. This was helpful to some, while tricky for others. If you meet the requirements, you are granted more chances to be featured and are promised more traffic and sales than those who do not have Star Seller status. The status gets reviewed every 3 months, so it is also possible to lose your status. The way to become a star seller is reply the first message within 24 hours, earn a rating of 4.8 or higher, ship orders on time with tracking, or a label from Etsy, make 5 sales worth $300 within a 3-month review period. Like, don't get me wrong, I try to reply to my customers as soon as possible, but within 24 hours, sometimes family emergencies happen, and so the fact that that could just ruin your star seller thing is ridiculous to me. And also, because it is a popular site, sometimes customers expect you to act like Amazon and provide free next day shipping. I would say, if it isn't profitable, do not lower your prices to appease these types of customers, because there is no benefit. If you're just losing money in the end, it's not worth it. I've also heard horror stories of people getting their shops shut down without warning. So similar to PayPal, that if they catch you doing something suspicious, they can just shut it down without warning and not give you your money. I have heard that in some cases people have gotten their shop removed and then Etsy would come back and be like, "Oh, sorry, it was a mistake," but it's you don't get all that money that you missed on while your shop was shut down by them. So it's definitely a risk. So have a backup plan ready. Maybe have a Ko-fi or something because Ko-fi doesn't charge you for having it up. Alright, so let's do a little quick thing about taxes. As far as I understand, no matter how much money you make, and this is within the United States, you have to report it. The last time I checked, if you make anything over $400, you not only have to report it, but you also have to pay your taxes on it. Be sure to keep all your receipts, and if possible, try to get a professional to help you with your taxes. Let's talk about the work. The work you have to do to maintain a shop. You definitely have to spend money to make money with this. Good news is you can use this for your tax deductions. If you don't know how to use spreadsheets, I highly recommend learning. I'm sure there are a lot of Google videos that can teach you. Excel is a paid-for program from my understanding, but Google Sheets is free if you have a Gmail account. I mean, y'all are on YouTube, so odds are you probably already have one. So that is a nice, easy way that you can keep track of all your spendings and savings. There are also programs like QuickBooks for self-employed folk. That can be a little costly. I think it's at $15 a month currently, which can add up. It all depends on what you find convenient and what you find worth paying. To the merchandise. I did another video on Artist Alley and I briefly made a list of what type of merchandise. You can check that out over here. You will have to do research on where to buy your merchandise, or if you decide to make it yourself from scratch. I started making stickers by myself. It was kind of an easy way to start, but money-wise, I did have to pay for vinyl, the laminate, a good printer, and have a sticker cutter. So it was a bit of an upfront cost. You can cut the stickers yourself and not need the sticker cutter, but personally, I couldn't work an X-Acto knife or use left-handed scissors. So I went ahead and got a sticker cutter. It was kind of a pain. Sometimes the sticker cutter is a gamble and cuts your stickers beautifully, and sometimes it does them all off-centered, and then all your vinyl kind of goes to waste. Just keep that in mind. The easier, safer way, and perhaps more expensive way, is outsourcing. So you can outsource your stuff. There are plenty of online services, and I'm sure there are some in your local area. If you look things up like print shop, you could probably get prints made there and you can actually talk to the person and not have to pay for shipping, but you could also do it online. Storage. Now that you have all your merch, you gotta know where to put it. So that is another thing to keep in mind. Stickers, super easy to store. Prints, a little harder, but still don't take up a lot of space. Merchandise like t-shirts will take up more room because you have to have many sizes in stock. Something like a closet or shelving should work. Shipping. Be sure to check your shipping fees. Depending on where you're shipping, it will not be a one-size-fits-all. If you overcharge, it's gonna kind of suck for your customers and they might be more hesitant to purchase things from you. If it's too low, you might end up losing money. So you want to be sure to check your shipping fees. For shipping labels on my personal website, I use Pirate Ship. It costs no money other than the shipping label itself. As far as I know, you can buy shipping labels from the US Postal Service, the UPS, and FedEx. Some websites have an automatic shipping calculator. You have to input the measurement and weight of your item when you create your listing. When your customer buys your merchandise, it automatically calculates the price of shipping for the region. Often the shops that you calculate your shipping for you also recognize that you're a business and they give you a business discount for your shipping labels. The shipping settings usually have an option to add an extra fee, and this is where I put the cost of my packaging materials. I get most of my packaging materials in bulk on Amazon, but there are several sites that offer bulk shipping, such as Clear Bags or Eco Enclose. Bulk is usually cheaper than if you're buying a small pack of mailers at your local post office or big box store. Advertising. This is advice I need to follow myself, but don't forget to advertise your shop. It's important to remind your audience that you make and sell cool stuff. One big example would be on social media. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!